Gather around, folks. Because shit is about to get crazy. They told us he was done. They told us the injury would keep him out for months. They told us SmackDown would move on without him. They were all wrong. Because last Friday night, when that music hit and the arena went pitch black, every single person in that building knew chaos had just walked back through the door. Jacob Fatu didn't just return to SmackDown. He brought an army. He brought a statement. And most importantly, he brought the Samoan Swat back to absolutely dismantle everything in their path. What we witnessed wasn't just a comeback. It was a declaration of war. Let me take you back to the exact moment everything changed. Roman Reigns was standing in the ring, microphone in hand, doing what he does best, commanding the attention of millions. The tribal chief had just laid down the law, making it crystal clear that the Bloodline's grip on SmackDown was tighter than ever. Cody Rhodes had been watching from the ramp, jaw clenched, fists balled up, ready to respond to Roman's latest provocation. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. These two have been circling each other for months now, each confrontation more explosive than the last. The WWE Universe was on the edge of their seats, waiting to see if Cody would finally snap and storm that ring. But then the lights went out. Complete, total darkness. And in that moment, in that split second of confusion and anticipation, you could feel it. Something was about to happen. Something big. The crowd's roar turned from excitement to something else. Something primal. Because deep down, whether they consciously knew it or not, they could feel the shift in the atmosphere. When those lights came back on, they didn't gradually fade in. They exploded back to life with the force of a thunderclap. And there he was. Jacob Fatu. Standing on the entrance ramp, like a warrior returning from battle. But he wasn't alone. Flanking him on both sides were the most intimidating collection of Samoan warriors SmackDown has seen in years. This wasn't the Bloodline we've grown accustomed to seeing. This was something different. Something more dangerous. This was the Samoan Swat, a tactical unit designed for one purpose and one purpose only: complete and total domination. The camera panned across their faces, and you could see it in their eyes. This wasn't for show. This wasn't for the cameras. This was personal. This was family. This was blood. Tama Tonga stood there with that cold, calculated look he's perfected over years of destroying opponents in Japan. Tanga Loa beside him, looking like he was ready to tear the ring apart with his bare hands. And leading them all, orchestrating this symphony of destruction, was Jacob Fatu himself, the most explosive, most dangerous member of the Anoa'i family to ever step foot in a WWE ring. Now here's where this gets absolutely insane. Because what happened next wasn't scripted. Well, it was, but it didn't feel like it. It felt real. It felt raw. It felt like we were watching something we weren't supposed to see. Jacob Fatu didn't grab a microphone. He didn't cut a promo. He didn't play to the cameras. Instead, he locked eyes with Roman Reigns, and in that single moment of eye contact, years of family history, professional rivalry, and pure competitive fire passed between them. Roman's expression was priceless. For the first time in months, maybe years, the tribal chief looked genuinely surprised. Not afraid, mind you. Roman Reigns doesn't do fear. But surprised. Caught off guard. And maybe, just maybe, uncertain about what was about to unfold. Because Jacob Fatu represents something Roman has never had to deal with before. A member of his own family who doesn't acknowledge his authority. A warrior who doesn't bend the knee. A force of nature that can't be controlled or manipulated. The Samoan Swat began their march to the ring. Not running. Not rushing. Walking with purpose. With intent. With the confidence of men who know they can back up every single threat they're about to make. The crowd was going absolutely ballistic. You had some fans chanting for the Bloodline. Others chanting for Fatu. Some people didn't know what to chant because they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Social media was exploding in real time. Twitter was on fire. Instagram was melting down. TikTok was flooded with reaction videos. Everyone was asking the same question: what does this mean for SmackDown? Here's what it means. Everything we thought we knew about the power structure on Friday nights just got thrown out the window. For months, Roman Reigns has operated under the assumption that he is the undisputed head of the table. The final word. The ultimate authority. But Jacob Fatu's return challenges that notion at its very core. Because while Roman has been the political mastermind, the strategic genius who plays chess while everyone else plays checkers, Jacob Fatu is something entirely different. He's the enforcer. The muscle. The one member of the family who solves problems not with words, but with violence. And make no mistake about it, the Samoan Swat is perfectly designed to be the most destructive force in WWE. Let's break down what we're looking at here. You've got Jacob Fatu, who legitimately might be the most athletic super heavyweight in professional wrestling history. This man does moonsaults at nearly 300 pounds. He moves like someone half his size, but hits like a freight train. His combination of power, agility, and straight-up mean streak makes him virtually unstoppable when he gets going. Then you add Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa, two men who have spent the last decade proving themselves as one of the most dominant tag teams in the world. These aren't WWE homegrown talents learning the ropes. These are seasoned veterans who have competed at the highest levels across multiple continents. They understand ring psychology. They understand how to work as a unit. They understand how to systematically dismantle opposition. But here's the really terrifying part. The Samoan Swat isn't just about physical dominance. It's about family legacy. Every single member of this group carries the weight of the Anoa'i family name. They're continuing a tradition that goes back generations. A tradition of warriors, of champions, of men who refuse to back down from any challenge. That's in their DNA. That's in their blood. And that makes them more dangerous than any faction WWE has assembled in years. Now let's talk about what this means for the immediate future of SmackDown. Because the landscape just completely shifted. Cody Rhodes has been on a collision course with Roman Reigns for months now, building toward what everyone assumes will be another marquee WrestleMania match. But Jacob Fatu's return throws a massive wrench into those plans. Does Cody now have to navigate around the Samoan Swat to get to Roman? Does this force unlikely alliances? Could we see Cody team up with other main eventers just to survive the onslaught? And what about Roman himself? The tribal chief has always been surrounded by family. The Usos, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman orchestrating behind the scenes. But Jacob Fatu represents a different branch of the family tree. One that doesn't automatically fall in line. One that might have its own agenda. The possibilities here are endless. Are we looking at a unified bloodline stronger than ever? Or are we watching the seeds being planted for the most explosive family civil war WWE has ever produced? The SmackDown locker room has to be in complete panic mode right now. Every single wrestler on that roster just watched a group of Samoan warriors march into the arena and fundamentally change the power dynamic. Champions are looking over their shoulders. Mid-carders are trying to figure out how to stay out of the crossfire. And the front office is probably scrambling to figure out how to book this explosive situation without letting it completely run wild. What we witnessed wasn't just another return. Returns happen all the time in WWE. Someone gets injured, they rehab, they come back, they get their pop, and they eventually settle back into the roster. This was different. This was a statement. Jacob Fatu didn't return to ask for opportunities. He returned to take them. The Samoan Swat didn't show up to shake hands and play by the rules. They showed up to rewrite them. The intensity in that arena was off the charts. You could cut the tension with a knife. And when Jacob Fatu finally stood face to face with Roman Reigns in the center of that ring, with the entire WWE universe holding their collective breath, you could feel it. This wasn't just wrestling. This was personal. This was family. This was legacy. This was everything that makes professional wrestling compelling distilled into one perfect moment. SmackDown will never be the same. The champions better watch their backs. The contenders better step up their game. And the WWE Universe better strap in, because we're about to witness something special. The Samoan Swat has arrived, and they're here to shake the very foundation of Friday Night SmackDown. The only question now is, who's brave enough to stand in their way?